It has been a good month for Coin holders, as this altcoin is currently up about 80% in the past 30 days and even up here about 25% in the past week. Now, this comes at a time where millions of Coin is waiting to be burned and removed from the float completely. 47 million Crow to be more specific, worth about 4.38 million US dollars. Additionally, Crypto.com just launched their strike options for US users through the main app, which could potentially drive a ton of new users to this platform. You can expect to hear about all this and more in today's episode of the Everything Crypto Show. Now, before we hop into the content, just a friendly reminder that I am not a financial advisor, nor do I offer financial advice on YouTube. I am simply here for your crypto news and entertainment purposes. And if you do find these videos informative, please consider hitting that sub and like button. It does go a long way, and I do really appreciate all the support. So we're going to talk about Coin today, and we have been talking about this altcoin quite a bit on the channel over this past week, and that's because it has been going on an absolutely monster run. A lot more people have been paying attention to this altcoin, as it has kind of been pumping here along with select altcoins. However, this was not the case for Coin earlier in the year. In fact, if we actually take a look at a year-to-date basis, before this big move that we saw here, Coin was pretty much flat on the year, and all just here within the past couple of weeks alone, it made up for a lot of this lagging price action earlier in the year. So if you continue to hold your Crow bag despite the sideways shuffling, congratulations to you, as this 5-cent range, it basically over doubled from that area after it topped out at 12 cents earlier last week. Now, we're going to talk about the price action when we get into the latter half of this video, but first, I do want to talk about the news, as over the long term, it is fundamentals that do drive the price of these projects. And the first thing I do want to talk about here is in regards to the tokenomics of Coin, as we do have this community pool wallet, which I do like to check in on every once in a while, because this community pool wallet is essentially a burn wallet, and all the Crow in this wallet is going to be burned and removed from the flow completely. And we are very close to hitting a milestone of 50 million Crow sitting in this wallet. At the moment, this 47 million Crow is worth about 4.39 million US dollars worth. So for those of you that are not too familiar with this community wallet, we did talk about this back when the proposal was made in April, and ever since the proposal here passed for these periodic Crow burns, we have been keeping an eye on the wallet to see just how much Crow is going to be removed from the float. So just a little bit of backstory. Basically, at the time of this proposal, there were 26 billion Crow tokens in circulation, and currently it has an annual inflation rate of roughly 2.5%, meaning that each year about 646 million Crow tokens are emitted into circulation. And, obviously that is not good as token holders. You actually want your coins to either have like majority of the supply already circulating, or to actually be deflationary, as just like with your regular dollars, inflation of these crypto tokens means that each individual token becomes less valuable. So this proposed mechanism basically aims to gradually burn a portion of the Crow rewards emitted to the validators, and entailing allocating a portion of tokens produced through future inflation to a community pool, and then burning the collected tokens on a periodic basis. The anticipated result is a decrease in effective inflation rate, ultimately leading to a more robust Crow token economy. So this was basically according to the original post, and for those of you that don't know, the way the Chronos POS chain used to work is that Crow holders would delegate their Crow. It would then be staked to a validator. They would receive Crow rewards after deducting emissions, and the validators would receive commissions from the Crow rewards. Now, the way this works post burn update here is a certain percentage of the Crow that would be emitted as rewards, and it is actually 15%, is now redirected into this community pool, and instead of being distributed as a staking yield like it was previously, it is now sitting in this community wallet just waiting to be burned. Now, I spoke about this proposal when it came out, and I said that, any burn is good news for Coin. I do kind of want to see the tokenomics of this project improve. However, I would like to see some more meaningful burns in the future, okay? And I do think that I think it's pretty justified to say that a 30 billion float is pretty aggressive for a token like Crowcoin. Okay, we can actually look at a project like BNB. Okay, and I think this is a pretty fair comparison considering that BNB is the native crypto token for Binance, and it does also power the Binance Smart Chain, very similarly to how Crowcoin is both an exchange token for Crypto.com and a DeFi token, right, for the Chronos POS and the Chronos mainnet. And we can see here that BNB has a circulating supply of 151 million, and that is going to be reduced down to 100 million via sort of like the BNB auto burn system that they have going on. And yeah, I mean, at the moment, I just simply don't see why Crowcoin has to have 30 billion tokens in circulation. And, just to put things into perspective, right? Like right off the bat, let's say tomorrow Crypto.com or the Chronos team was to announce that they were cutting the supply of Crow in half. That now means that if you currently hold Crow, if Crow is going to maintain the same market cap, instead of being worth, 9.3 cents, every Crow token would then be worth 18.6 cents, okay? Because the supply is being cut in half, the value of your tokens is essentially doubling. And that is where tokenomics do become important, okay? That's why I do take a look at the burn wallet. That's why I take a look at the staking yield being offered, because, this is kind of where the price action does get impacted, is from the actual tokenomics of the project itself. So if we actually take a look here at the Chronos POS chain, I do think it's important to look at. So we're going to go there. I mean, it's worth noting that even with an annual inflation rate of about 2.5%, it's actually offering a 7.35% yield. So even staking your Crowcoin on the network, it actually is enough to basically outpace the inflation kind of like threefold, right, at the 7.5% yield, more or less. However, I still think even with that in mind, that the supply of this token could be far less, in my opinion. I think that if BNB can have a supply of 150 million, there's no reason that Crowcoin can't have a supply of like 1 billion or lower. And obviously at this point it's a little more complicated because they would have to actually have all these tokens to do such a big burn, but they could do it in other ways, right? They could either choose to kind of like increase the burns on the network, increase the burns in the community wallet, just something I would like to see to kind of like bring the inflation down, or actually start to remove Crowcoin from the float completely. And this would not be the first time that the Crypto.com team has done this, okay? If we actually go ahead and Google Crowcoin 80 billion burn, for those of you that don't, sorry, it's actually 70 billion. 70 billion burn. Yeah, it's right here. For those of you that are not aware, Crowcoin actually had a 100 billion total supply back in 2021. And in February, Crypto.com made the decision to burn 70 billion Crow tokens ahead of the Chronos POS blockchain launch next month. And we can actually take a look at how the market reacted to this news, okay? So we're going to go back to February of 2021. Let me get back here for a sec. Sorry, TradingView is not cooperating. Okay, here we go. So now we're back in 2021, and if we go take a look at February, you're going to notice here that Crowcoin was sitting in and around 10 cents, and then based on the news that this burn was happening, it over doubled from 10 cents, and it peaked at about 25 cents, right? So clearly, the reaction here was very good to the community burn, or to the Crypto.com burn of 70 billion Crowcoin, and yeah, I do think that once again, we could see a similar reaction if that was actually going to happen again. I don't think that we would see a burn as big as 70 billion, but I do think that any burn would be a step in the right direction. So that is what I'm hoping to see for the actual tokenomics of this project. And now in terms of the Crypto.com news, I do want to talk about the new strike options platform, or rather like the strike options feature they launched on the Crypto.com app. So options are basically a way to bet on the short-term movement of certain crypto assets. And I think at the moment, I don't know what it's being offered for. Okay, so it says it's currently available for Bitcoin, ETH, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash as underlying assets, with more to come in the future. And this is a CFTC regulated product. So this could be very good for actually attracting new users to Crypto.com, as they are able to trade options here for cryptocurrency through a regulated platform. And I should go without saying that, whether this platform is regulated or not, strike options are just inherently risky, just because of the nature of what they are, right? Like of actual options trading. And we're not going to go too deep into that. But what you need to know basically is that there are not a whole lot of places you can actually trade options right now for crypto in the US, let alone a fully CFTC compliant options trading platform. So that's a pretty good niche for Crypto.com to actually have themselves in. And while this does not have a direct impact on Crowcoin, it is obviously worth noting that, Crowcoin is the native token of the Crypto.com platform. Brand recognition is a very powerful thing, and they do also offer some products that incentivize people or users of the platform to hold Crowcoin as well, including their Crypto.com Visa program, as well as their crypto pay platform, Crypto Earn, a couple of different features. So on that note, I hope you did enjoy the content in today's video. I am hoping you all stay happy, safe, and healthy, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace out for now.